there's no open. I guess we're just here. It was usually a fancy little show open. This is Coffee Break. It is Tuesday, August 19th. Yep, I'm on my third cup of ice. Jason, where's yours?
Mine's inside right now, but
so
it's all right. I'll get back to it in a couple minutes.
I don't feel badly about this because it's not that bad out today. Yeah, but it is Tuesday, August 19th, a little after 10 o'clock in the morning. There's been a lot going on. Gene has like all the news of the day. He had the Attorney General on this morning.
Yep.
A lot of really important stuff. So we're going to get to that in a second. But first, Jason, it's fall, huh? It's beautiful.
I know, this is incredible. There's really nothing better than late August here in southern New England. Even though we have a little bit more cloud cover in place, guys, it's still going to be a really, really nice day outside. Temperature is going to be in the mid 70s, and we're also going to be able to enjoy some nice, comfortable dew points too in the low 50s. And we're going to forget about our chilly start that we had with a lot of us waking up in the mid to upper 40s earlier on today. But today will really be kind of the last of the real pleasant weather that we're expecting, at least over the next few days, as things turn a little bit more unsettled tomorrow. We're expecting some rain to be in the forecast as we go into Wednesday, starting around the mid-morning time frame, some on and off light rain showers, then transitioning over probably to some steadier rain a little bit later towards the evening time frame. That carries over into Thursday morning. It should taper off likely by lunchtime on Thursday, but then our focus will be shifting to a little bit of the breezy conditions and also some of the rough surf and high-risk rip currents as Hurricane Erin makes her closest approach late Thursday and into Friday morning. So the seas will be churned up definitely across southern New England. So that will be a concern. But overall, really not going to be that much of a big impact here with regards to heavy rain or any gusty winds from Erin itself. And then by the time we get to this weekend, we're going to forget all about Erin as we're going to have that sunshine back in place. So I'll make sure to break all this down once again and give you some of the latest information that's going to be coming out at 11 o'clock on Hurricane Erin and her latest track too.
Hey, Jason, my father was with my sister on Nantucket. They said it was really rough on the ferry yesterday. So when should they come back?
How long can they stay out?
No. Sooner rather than later?
Yeah, if they're going to come back over the next couple of days, today is probably your best bet because the waves out there should be anywhere between about 7 and 12 feet by the time we're getting to that Thursday, Friday timeframe. So got to take your Dramamine.
Oh boy. Okay. I'll let him know. Thanks, Jason.
Yep.
Yeah, Gene, he said it was rough on the way out there, and that was yesterday. So
wow. Great dog walking weather. Whose dog was that? Was that yours?
Sorry, that's Betty Bologna.
You're
probably going to meet Betty Bologna soon and Basil Bologna.
Yeah, I told
Little B.
You were pushing them out of the room, and I heard them say, "I'm an AG, I'm an AG."
Oh,
they didn't want to go.
Oh, what an unfortunate story.
Yes.
It is national. It's actually international at this point. All of it, as we know, caught on camera.
Did you say Daily Mail picked it up?
Daily Mail, I saw this morning, picked it up, in addition to News Nation, right? And
New York Post.
New York Post.
CBS Morning News.
Oh, did they have it this morning too?
Yeah, okay. And 1 million views plus on YouTube. Wow. It's
only going to keep racking up, I think, as well. So,
well,
I got to tell you, the Newport police really, they restrained themselves. Mm-hmm. They really didn't want to arrest these women. At least that's what they kept saying. The video goes on and on and on.
I mean, the one in the red dress, that's Devin
Hogan
Flanagan. She's an assistant attorney general, which means she's a prosecutor. And she was out to dinner with her friend there. That's Veronica in the white dress. Veronica had a bigger mouth than Devin did. If you watch this whole video, that's the Clark Cookhouse guy. They asked him to leave. And apparently there was a dispute whether they were trespassing or not. The cops were called. The cops said, just move, just leave, but they wouldn't. The attorney general this morning told me alcohol was involved, as you might imagine. Don't know if they were overserved, but one thing led to another. Next thing you know, they locked them up. The body cam's rolling, and this thing is all over the internet for the rest of your lives.
I know, and she's got kids, which Peter Nerano was talking to you about as well. They're going to see this. And also, she keeps telling them that this is the part that stuck for me. She kept telling them to turn the camera off, which is against due process, and looking for special treatment. That's the real crux of this too.
Yeah, you cannot tell a police officer to turn the body cam off. In certain instances, if you're a victim of a crime or an innocent witness like a child, the officer has the discretion to stop recording, and you could, for obvious reasons. But if you're the subject of the complaint, you cannot say that's protocol. So, she's not hammered out of her mind. So I asked the Attorney General, is she not familiar with the protocol? I mean, look, if drinking was involved, which it may have been, but she's not blasted. She's talking about
But
Miranda
she's trying, right, and she's
and stuff like
well
that.
enough to try and use her
Yeah.
influence, right?
Yeah,
So she's
so.
putting 2 and 2 together. But the police, they didn't fall for it. They were firm. They actually kept saying, "We don't want to arrest you," but it just went on and on and on. It's like they had no other choice.
No, it's and then the girlfriend Veronica, she's worse than this one in the rest. She's screaming and yelling and pushing her feet against the door. At one point, I thought the cops are trying to close the door. They're going to catch her toe, catch her foot in the door if she doesn't pull in. Anyway, listen, if there's a lesson to be learned, it's forever. The internet. Don't act up. Whatever, just keep going. Get out. Don't stop. Don't argue. You can't unring the bell.
To other people in their roles.
Yeah.
Of course, she was under the influence, and we only know that because the Attorney General confirmed that for you this morning.
He said
did say
alcohol was involved.
So that's why we're confirming it here via him, because he did meet with her yesterday. But he seems to like her overall. He doesn't want to, for lack of a better way of putting it, he told you he doesn't want to get rid of her. She's definitely going to be punished in some way, shape, or form, suspended without pay. But, something I took away from your interview this morning, Gene, was he doesn't have enough attorneys in his office. So it's kind of like,
well, okay, look,
he's having a hard time.
I thought he was more candid than he would be. I thought he could have easily said, it's a personnel matter, I can't discuss it. He didn't. He said, I met with her. I played the video for her. Alcohol was involved. I'm going to weigh what to do. He said she's a good employee other than this. It wasn't drunk driving. It wasn't anything like that.
She didn't hurt anybody. There was no.
She didn't hurt anybody other than her reputation.
Right.
This is Veronica, the one in the yellow dress here.
The question, though, now, Jane, is like, can she cover trespassing cases?
Well,
should she be allowed to do any cases in Newport? I mean, I think she might have already apologized to Newport police, and the Attorney General did say that she was remorseful and took responsibility. So that's a step in the right direction.
I imagine she is. Look, I don't know what the court of public opinion at first jump. It's, this is terrible, blah, 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 fire her. I think he had a reasoned approach. Look, she's a good employee. She made a mistake.
No record.
An embarrassing one. And, it's almost like the punishment here is really what you and I are looking at and what is going to be out there forever, 1 million views.
It's really
on YouTube. So he said, other than that, she's a good employee, and it's hard to get a good attorney to work for the Attorney General's office. They only what did you think they pay her? About $91,000 a year?
I looked it up. It's about $91,000 a year.
Okay, so he
not a lot in the scheme of things when you're an attorney and could be in private practice. Or
he gave. I thought was a candid answer. It's hard to get people to work who I can rely on and depend, but also saying that look, she's taking some time off and she's going to be punished, and he doesn't know how she could go back before judges with this kind of behavior. That's going to be tough for her to do. So I don't know.
He's dealt with these sorts of things before. You're running a big office and personnel things come up, but he made it sound like she was a good employee. Otherwise, within the department, it's not like it sounded like had a problematic reputation. It's a hard one. This one. It's really unfortunate.
We got a clip from my radio show this morning, WTRO. I happen to have the Attorney General scheduled for today before this thing blew up. So it was the first thing we spoke about. Well, we'll get it played for you at some point.
We'll get it at some point.
Yeah, we'll get
he spoke to you for a long time, though. It wasn't like he was shying away from everything. Although at first you're like, listen, should I have come on your show this morning? What time?
Well, that was, I called him yesterday and said, let's come on the show. We'll talk about this lawsuit and all the lawsuits you're filing against Trump. And then 10 o'clock, whenever this thing broke, boom. And he made a commitment. He came on and we spoke about it for the first 20 minutes. Dan, our producer, he'll get the audio pulled up. Yeah. In the meantime, you can listen to the podcast on WPRO.
He also spoke about all the lawsuits and ICE, the letter that came through from Bondi about ICE and whether or not we're a sanctuary jurisdiction, right?
Yeah. Attorney General Bondi wrote a letter to the Governor McKee and CC'd Attorney General saying you're running a sanctuary jurisdiction and you have until today to answer for yourselves and tell us you're going to not do this. Well, they basically laughed it off. And Narona said it's not serious. And if Pam Bondi knows how it works. If you want to sue me, you can sue me, but don't write letters demanding things that I'm not gonna respond to. He laughed it off. McKee laughed it off.
They laugh it off, but the federal funding could get cut.
Well, then they won't be laughing if it comes to that. Now he's also suing the administration 33 times
with other states,
along with other Democrat attorneys general. And it's a well-worn pattern. And listen, we broached this subject. He's a Democrat. He joins up with a bunch of other Democrat AGs, and they run to generally a Democrat-appointed judge, and they get an injunction, and they go and crow about that. It's all pending before the Supreme Court. There's no final decision. But how can you not look at it other than political? Now, before we go, deeper, Republicans do the same thing.
Right.
Republicans sued the Biden administration, not to this extent, not this kind of volume. And I think the 34th suit could be around the corner because Donald Trump wants to put an end to mail-in ballots, and that's right up their alley. So
the Democrats love the mail-in ballots.
Yeah. So I asked him about that too. I mean, the volume here is becoming a little absurd, I think.
My question with the mail-in ballots, though, is: are we pulling off access? Maybe they just need to be done better. I don't know. It's a sticky subject.
Well, mail-in ballots is one thing. Early voting is another.
Absentee voting, right?
Absentee, it used to be if you're really out of the country, you're going to be hospitalized, you got an operation.
Right.
That's when you get a mail-in ballot. Now it's with COVID, they opened up the whole thing. And look, there's the debate back and forth as to how much fraud there is, whether it's really negligible or not. But we have heard the stories about ballot dumping, ballot harvesting. And the president says it's a bad system. He wants to get rid of it altogether, and you all show up to vote on election day.
All right. So that's definitely top of news today, too. But it looks like our audio is good to go with your interview this morning from the Attorney General. So let's listen to what he had to say. Dan said it was.
The best laid.
Oh, Dan!
The best laid plans of mice and men.
He's working it behind there. Well, it is on your podcast.
Yeah, it's on the podcast.
It's on the podcast.
I'd like to play it for you because it was a good interview. So, but anyway, we'll see.
I have to say, he was very candid and direct.
Yeah.
Those are the big things for today, from what I can tell. I mean, everybody's talking about it, not just here, but from far away too. Who else did you have on the radio today? I heard all of Corona in between today's show cut-ins.
Well, we talked about the White House yesterday. What a day that was! Huh? All those heads of state showing up to try to negotiate a peace deal with Zelensky and Russia. And then later in the day, after the reporters were kicked out of the room, the president calls Putin. Right? He goes into another room.
The next step is Putin and Zelensky alone, and then
the three of them,
Zelensky and Trump.
Yeah, but what struck me
yesterday, the idea is they come out and they say peace.
You ever watch that $1 Million Listing real estate show?
Oh yeah.
Where you got it. Well, it's the last offer. I think you ought to take it. Now Trump's a real estate guy, so he left the room with all the heads of state. He goes to another room. He's got Putin on the phone. Listen, I got a really good offer here. Maybe we ought to take it. It's the best and final. It's the funniest thing. So now the deal we understand is that the territory Putin has grabbed, he gets to keep. And in exchange for that, the war is over. He gets to keep that. Now, what's in it for Zelensky?
He just gets an end to the war.
He gets to keep the rest of his country.
Right.
He gets to end the war, and he gets, as far as we know, he gets a guarantee that if Putin never came back, NATO, us, and the rest of those Europeans would fight him on the ground.
Backed by the United States.
That's the security guarantee. So remember, Zelensky wants to be in NATO. This is not quite NATO. It's almost NATO on Ozempic. It's NATO light.
Yeah.
It carries the same threat that if you go after him, you're going to fight us. So we'll see if Putin agrees to that. But that's kind of the trade-off. Zelensky gets that. He gets to keep the rest of his country. Putin gets this slice, the Donbass and that whole area. And he gets to go back and repair his shattered economy and get his country back in order. So that's a deal. That's the offer. Don't know if it's going to be accepted, but I think the president carried the day yesterday.
Rubio was on this morning basically saying President Trump does not like wars. It's expensive. It costs lives. He doesn't want to see it. So I think wherever you stand politically, most people would agree. It's expensive. We don't want to see lives lost. It's got to end. So
what did he say on you? Did you watch the Fox and Friends interview?
I didn't. No, I just overheard that he said it might be his ticket into heaven.
Okay, might be his ticket into heaven.
Anyway,
All right. Okay.
Anyway, we do have the sound from the Attorney General. Should we try one more time?
Well, third time is the charm.
Look, she's put me in a bad position. She's embarrassed herself, humiliated herself, treated the Newport Police Department horribly. She is going to take some steps to try to address that in the next day or so. I just don't know what I'm going to do yet, Gene, and I have to give it some more thought. But the inexcusable behavior. She knows better. The office knows better. I've got 110 lawyers. She embarrassed all of them in a sense. I haven't had many issues like this. While I've been Attorney General, I've had a few. I let one guy go for driving drunk. I had to bring him back. I didn't have to, but did bring him back after I fired him about a year later because, again, I needed somebody to go in a courtroom and try, ugly, hard murder cases. Just really hard to find and keep capable lawyers. And so you have to think,
Wow,
have to think really carefully about this one. But no question, there'll be a strong thing.
But my takeaway is, gosh, you can't. There's a shortage even there, huh? So you
might take
some ways. Oh my God.
Punishment, maybe a month off, and then he's going to keep her. If this is her only blemish, it wasn't drunk driving. He brought up the drunk driving one. That's a little more serious.
Right.
So, but maybe maybe we need a story. There's a larger story that we got a shortage of prosecutors because you know why somebody goes to law school.
They have over 100, but it's still not enough.
Well, you go to law school, you're in a hole for 200,000, maybe 300,000, depending on where you go. You're going to come out, and what are they going to start you with?
Right.
Right. You're not even making $100,000. How are you going to pay back your loans? So you could see why somebody would run to do closings or tax work or something else other than that. So I think he gave a practical answer. I need the lawyers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a real world issue.
Yeah.
Question is maybe she's just put into different areas where she's allowed to practice based upon what's happening right now. But yeah, I mean, I think the punishment's already having to live with this, right? With your reputation. That's really unfortunate. I keep saying so. Yeah. Well, everybody has a choice to make when they wake up in the morning, right?
Yep.
So,
hey, Saturday, I chose to go to Block Island.
So I'm not a big Block Island fan in the summer. That may be totally unpopular, but I went there. It's crowded. The ferry's packed. When I go once a year with my friends for New Year's. It's freezing. We do a polar plunge, but it's empty and it's quiet.
Well, that's a different. Well, this one I went on a friend's boat. No, I've never been out to the block on someone's boat. I've always taken the ferry, so it's a different experience. It's like flying private. You shoot out and you go into the little marina in New Harbor, and then did the Spring House for lunch back on the boat. So I enjoyed it, and I thought the island, it almost looked like a movie scene. So many people and weddings and things like that. So, but I got to tell you, that place has literally turned into the Hamptons. Big money, helicopters, jets.
Well, it depends on where you go on the island, but
well, I mean, how the homes are millions of dollars. You
got to go, but further away from where the ferry is, and you have to kind of go up and out. But yes. Well,
I listen. Anything is. It's. I don't think anybody can afford to buy anything out there unless you're talking big money now.
Oh, the last time I was out there, guess who was on the ferry with me?
Who?
Tony Goldwyn. From Scandal.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a house out there, or his family does.
You know who just caught the ferry back?
Who?
Raimondo. Gina Raimondo was out there.
She has a house down in Wakefield, I think, right?
She does, but she likes Block Island. She was out there for a few days. And just a day or two ago, they had a fundraiser. For
Helena?
I think Helena was out there raising money for all the swells.
Yeah.
So the swells, by the way, the swells are not just the waves.
I got to tell you something.
The swells are the swells with the cash.
Oh, yes. So the house we stay at, it's like right around from the bluffs. So you go all the way down. I think we all counted 172 stairs. You go down, you polar plunge, and you climb up. It's a whole thing. But I got to tell you, the Block Island Ferry has the best Bloody Marys in the state. I don't know what it is.
I would have never.
Best Bloody Marys on the Block Island Ferry.
On the Block Island Ferry. Okay.
I swear by it.
I did not know that.
I swear by it.
Wake you up in the morning. In moderation, as
yes,
as we just saw.
definitely. So anyway, all right. I have a meeting at 11 o'clock. What are you up to today?
Well, I'm
You got
gonna.
the news at 6.
Yeah, I'll see what's going on. Nothing really planned. I'll be in for 6 o'clock tonight.
I was trying to see if Betty was by me, but she's not right now. I'll bring Betty on next time.
And she's in the cruiser with the cops.
I feel for it was terrible what she did, both of those women, but hopefully she learns from it and moves on. And
I think as time passes, look,
like anything, right?
it's not a
For the most
crime.
part.
It's not a drunk
Nobody
driving, much worse.
He was hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
And listen, the embarrassment is punishment enough.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean,
Yeah.
I think you'll hear that on the radio again.
Well, I think it was great that you got Peter on, and I think it was great that he was so frank with you. So
yeah, so he just frank and
he's very direct.
Yeah,
he'll be direct with her, and onward, as they say, right?
We'll see where it goes.
All right, Jean. Ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.